Hello everyone, this is DD1 here, and I have a very special video for you today. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Gemmy prototype ZULTAN arcade fortune teller. This item is a staple piece in the Gemmy community. It's been seen all over YouTube all throughout the years, and so many people have one. It's a great piece. It's not appreciated as much in value as other Gemmy items for whatever reason, but it's one of the most technologically advanced from the time. And on the left here we have an early prototype of that piece. I forgot to turn the fan off, that's okay though. This power of editing. Look, I'm so glad I know how to edit. So this piece here I obtained from the designer. You might have seen it on YouTube in 2019 and been kind of shocked, like wow, something like that still exists. It looks so different, it sounds so different, and you're really going to see that in its entirety today. There's been a recent insane development with this guy. So for the longest time he would only play 3 or 4 phrases, and then there would be like a blank phrase, and then it would recycle and start at the beginning. And there are 8 phrases that ZULTAN says. And a couple of years ago a friend and I were messing around with it, and we got it to kind of glitch and play a phrase that I normally wouldn't play, and the pitch was normal. And this was just so random and out of pocket and strange. Well, fast forward to July 27th, 2023, and just as of a few days ago, it's been determined that all of the phrases are in fact there, and it was determined how to get those to play. So I know a lot of you like to do this random, kind of stupid, frankly, meme in my comments section. 17 EEPROMs, 17 EEPROMs, ha ha ha. I'm so funny. Editing. Well, this is the closest you may ever see to 17 EEPROMs, because there are literally 8 EEPROMs in this thing, 1 for every phrase, and 2 EEPROM boards. The reason why the other 4 phrases would not play is because the 2 EEPROM boards have to communicate with each other, and in that blank phrase I experienced at the end beforehand, that I would have to wait for it to reset twice. So the currents would try and close and stop once, and then have to do it again. But I never knew to do that, because who would? But it turns out doing that allows all of the phrases to play on this thing, which is crazy. And the pitch is normal on those, yet it's high pitch like a lot of prototypes on the first set. And some of them are chopped up really funny to try and save room, which obviously is not the case on production. So it's kind of hilarious just the way the lines are delivered in some cases. But that's enough about that aspect of this whole situation here. So the audio itself, you might have noticed in the video in the storage unit, it's a different audio file. It's the same recorded phrases, but the editing is very different. There's like a ton of reverberation going on. The skull's audio sounds a lot different. There's like reverse echo effects. It's really sick in my opinion. The main difference with production audio, aside from the lack of sound effects and editing, is that there's so much more bass in the recording. And to go with that, the produced model has like the largest speaker in any Gemmy item ever. And with the actual programming itself, there's a few differences. When the skull talks, as you might have seen in the old factory video from Spirit's site, the prototype's head stops floating, whereas on production it continues to float. And the button on the prototype lights up during the activation, but never when it's not activated. On the production model, the button will light up as long as it's like in button mode, but on sensor the button does not light up. And I guess now I will go ahead and do some close-up shots here. So here he is. His face is a lot different. He actually has the eyes from the mummy. There's pink around the eyes instead of like a maroon burgundy color, as you can see with the prototype on the box. There's like this black fabric, almost like a spirit ball on the bottom, which production does not have. The head's a bit larger too, and the skull is kind of angled back, so it's looking up further. This is all resin. The legs are part of the mold for the base. It's kind of warping, as you can see. The inside construction is very different. What else? You can't really tell. You can see that line there. They actually kind of etched into the panel here where the curtain is supposed to move. You can see right now it's angled down, but you can faintly see maybe those two lines. That's where this will move up to. So that's a slight detail that I didn't realize until much later, but it's really sick. And the mummy eye decals, instead of the regular Shivers ones, just adds another level of creepiness because of how small the pupils are. And the mouth shuts all the way. And the way they did it is crazy. There's a bunch of springs kind of glued everywhere in there. It doesn't look like a fun thing to repair. But thankfully, nothing is ever really mechanically broken on this, except the curtains had a split gear, but they still worked. The mouth on the skull is loud, and that was fiddled with and adjusted, so it's super silent now. But yeah, just an insane build with this thing, an insane program. Also, the word ZULTAN is a little bit different looking than production. And I just have the box in the middle here because there's a stock photo of another prototype that's in between these, and it's like the same scale, which is neat. And I'll just play one phrase from production here, and then the rest of them will be from the prototype. And this is going to be edited down to avoid the awkwardness. And yes, so now we're going to demonstrate the produced model here, which, as you can see, the head is a lot different. The panel is yellowed, sadly. On the side there's no back to the head, there's no fabric, and the curtains are lined up, kind of like how it's etched out on the prototype. But I will first close the curtains, and now we will play one of the phrases.
Another seeks the power of the all-seeing Zoltan. I look into your future and see. Your fears were correct. Take precautions. You know of what I speak. The crystal again darkens, and the great Zoltan rests.
So that's what the produced model sounds like. And now we're going to get into activating the prototype. And boy, is that a sight to be seen. And take a look at that button. That is a neat looking resin button. So, without further ado, we're just going to get into it here.
I am awakened. You, the all-seeing Zoltan. A word of advice. You are troubled by a decision that you must make. Take the chance, or you shall regret it for all of your days. The crystal goes dark. Long live Zoltan.
So as you can see, that was really cool. That was really different. And there's a lot more where that came from. So now we're going to get into some more phrases here. And yes, sadly, the way it's constructed, the one finger prohibits the curtains from closing all the way.
Another seeks the power of the all-seeing Zoltan. I look into your future and see. Your fears were correct. Take precautions. You know of what I speak. The crystal again darkens, and the great Zoltan rests.
Yeah, really amazing programming here. And give a little view on the inside. You can see how it's all built, all very resiny. There's some Chinese, I believe that says top or lid. And then you can see it has like a prototype spirit ball light right there. And you can see all of the extreme detail in that face. I'll open this one up from the inside.
The Zoltan is once again required. I delve deeply into your future. What lies ahead? I see. Victory. Celebration. Success. You are a lucky soul. The great Zoltan invites you to visit again soon.
You can see it reset once and then a second time. Really insane how this thing works. And a slight detail you might have missed is the mouth moves in different intervals depending on what he says, which is just so, there's so much attention to detail in this piece.
Once again, the all-seeing Zoltan must consult the spirit world to reveal what is yet to come. You are thinking on something. I see it. The answer is not what you would think, nor hope. Beware. The great Zoltan sees what is to be. Use this knowledge wisely. Yet another troubled with the all-seeing Zoltan. I shall deliver the answers to the questions in your heart. Make the correct decision. You must do what you feel is right, of course. This is a question to which you already know the answer. The great Zoltan retires to his chambers.
Also love how when the skull is lining up and the lights cut off, it all fades out instead of just cutting off instantly. It's a nice little attention to detail.
Awesome powers of the all-seeing Zoltan. I shall consult my mystic crystal. Yes, I see. No. The great Zoltan slumbers.
So now I'm going to be playing both of them at the same time, hopefully on the same phrase, and after that I'm going to be doing a shot in the dark. So here we go. This one's lower pitched, so I'm going to start it first.
I am awakened. You are seeing the wisdom right now. The all-seeing Zoltan is summoned. Behold, a word of advice. You You are troubled by a decision that you must make. Take the chance, or you shall regret it for all of your days. The crystal grows dark. Another prophecy. Long live ZULTAN. Of the great ZULTAN.
So I didn't get them in sync there, but now we're going to do a shot in the dark, which is going to look really cool, and that will conclude this video. Alright, so here they both are in the dark. Maybe they're on the same phrase this time, maybe not. We'll just see. But yeah, and it seems the frame rate's a little reduced, but hopefully that'll change when they light up. So here we go.
I am awakened. You seek the wisdom of the all-seeing ZULTAN. A word of advice. Troubled by a decision that you must make. Take the chance, or you shall regret it for all of your days. The crystal goes dark. Long live ZULTAN.
I'll do it one more time. There's a smudge on the inside of this panel here, so that's why it looks a little funny.
Another seeks the power of the all-seeing ZULTAN. I look into your future and see. Your fears were correct. Take precautions. You know of what I speak. The crystal again darkens, and the great ZULTAN rests.
Yeah, there you have it. That is the prototype made in 2005 for 2006 Gemmy animated arcade fortune teller ZULTAN piece. An excellent piece based off another arcade machine, but it's very original in its own way, and I couldn't be happier with how the prototype turned out, and a pretty good working production model as well. And these puppies retailed at Garden Ridge, for example, for only $100 in 2006. Isn't that insane? But yeah, that is ZULTAN. One last note that's irking me. The curtain fabrics are the same color, that's just yellowed. But what a video. I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And hopefully I edit this a lot.